I just Jose modded my Marshall without actually modding it. Cue the music. You know, one of the things that Marshall owners have been doing for time immemorial now is modding them because they want more gain. They want that extra gain stage. They want an extra tube in there because, hey, these things have plenty of bite and gain in them. But more is more, right? That's where Jose Arredondo came in. That famous Jose mod. And lots of people have modded their Marshalls in order to get them to be fire-breathing dragons. But what if I told you you could do that without actually opening up the amp or doing any mods? No soldering irons, no solder, no components, no nothing, no extra tubes. There's a really simple way to do it. This is the Nikidizer by my friend Nick over at Frog Amps. Look, this isn't just a pedal. This is actually an extra gain stage. No, it's actually 2 extra gain stages which go in front of your amplifier. People have been modding Marshall amps forever to get that extra tube in the front of the amp so that they are fire-breathing dragons, right? You all know this. Yeah, if you're tuning in, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But what if I told you that this replaces the soldering iron, the hassle, the amp tech, potentially blowing yourself up with that high voltage inside the amp? Yep, you basically just plug your guitar into here, plug this side into your amp, voila. In fact, you get 2 gain stages instead of just the 1 gain stage which Jose so famously put into so many Marshalls. Now, rather than just being a traditional overdrive pedal, this is basically a tube preamp which goes in front of your amplifier. So there is a 12x7 tube right there where you can see the red. Yep. It's really pretty, isn't it? Yeah, it looks really cool. And this runs on high voltage, so we're not talking about just 9 volts going into it and it lights up to look pretty. It's actually running at plate voltage, which is where you want the tube to live because that's where all the goodness comes from. You actually have 2 sides to it. You have the gain side and you have the JSO side, and they're voiced slightly different from each other. You can either use one side or the other, or you can stack them for even more gain. More is more. Yeah, that's the motto of this pedal. Anyways, I love the simplicity of this. This basically just gives you that extra drive that you're looking for from that modded Marshall platform. The gain side is a full-on extra boost. This is your full beans, everything at it. The JSO side is a little bit softer. It has a little bit more compression and it's a little bit gentler. So you get 2 different flavors and you can mix and match to get your ideal tone. The controls are super simple. As you can see, you have the buttons to switch on the gain stages and you have a knob for the amount of gain that you want to add. And you also have a couple of jacks at the top for remote operation of the gain stages if you want to switch them in via another switcher as well. You know what I really loved about this? It gave the Marshall amps, which are in my studio, that extra kick. Yeah, it just took them into that higher gain territory. Look, those amps sound amazing as they are, but when you add in more gain, basically they just push. They push even more. If you think about all the high gain amps that have been created after the JCM 800, they're basically a JCM 800 with something like this in front of them. Now you can have it in the convenient package of a pedal, which you can put on your pedal board and switch on and off as you want. You don't have to have it permanently hooked into your amplifier. But listen, enough talking. Let's check out how this sounds. I'm going to plug this into my Marshall Studio Classic on the low sensitivity input so you can really hear what this does. And I'm going to play through it and turn some knobs as well. And then we'll come back and talk about this a little bit more. See you in a second. Hey, if you're enjoying this one and you enjoy gear like this, do me a huge favor, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell notification as well so you know when new videos about gear like this come out on my channel. Really appreciate it. All right, let's get back to this. Now that's a serious amount of gain, right? I mean, one stage has a lot of gain. You add in 2 gain stages, man, it is just Armageddon in a box. I really enjoyed the tones of this as well. It does color the tone of my amplifiers. I did notice a little bit of an EQ shift when I switched on each of the gain stages, but it was a really nice shift. It focused the sound in some way. Now, because I wanted to do the whole Jose modded Marshall thing, I basically put this through not just the Studio Classic, but also my custom 69 Plexi and also the modded series JCM 800. This into the modded series, oh my goodness, it was incredibly cool. Had so much gain from that amplifier. Now I mainly use this with my tube amps because that's what I wanted to do, but this works equally as well with modelers as well. In fact, when I did the bass track, I plugged this into my Axe FX straight into the input and I played my bass through this just to give it a little bit more of a kick. And the really nice thing was it compressed the sound a little bit, so my bass was just coming out so crystal clear, rolled off a little bit of the low end and shaped it just nicely so that my bass was sitting beautifully in the mix. So if you want to give your modelers a little bit of tube goodness, then this works really well for that as well. The other thing that this worked really well for was my clean sound. I added a little bit of drive from this to my Strat, and it just brought out all the frequencies. It sounded really lovely and lush and a little bit thicker. I really liked that. Now there are a couple of things I would have liked on this pedal. First, the ability to easily change the tube inside. It can be done, but it does require some of the pedal to be taken apart and dismantled. Now I totally get why Nick designed it like this. Look, there are high voltages in here, so you don't want people poking around and electrocuting themselves by accident. That's not a good thing, right? The thing is, I'm really particular about the tubes that I use with my particular amps, and I have a stock of tubes, everything from like Mullards from the 1960s, Mazda tubes, GEs, and everything up to Chinese tubes and JJs as well. And they all sound a little bit different, and I like to experiment with the tube that works best with my amp. So a little spinny thing here or something locked down which could easily access the tube inside would have been a really cool addition to this already awesome pedal. The other thing that I would have liked to have seen is a little bit of tone shaping on both of these channels, just to shape the tone a little bit to match the amp that I am playing this through. But I do get the thinking behind the pedal, and Nick actually explained to me that this is a set and forget. It's basically an extra gain stage. It's not supposed to shape the tone of your amplifier. It's just supposed to add another gain stage in front of your amplifier. Then you can do your tone shaping on your actual amplifier. I'm just really particular about the tones that I play with, whether it be an extra gain stage, an overdrive pedal, or something else. So the addition of a couple of switches just to adjust some parameters would have been awesome on the pedal. The last thing that I would have loved to have would have been unity gain to be on 0 on both of the channels. At the moment, as you saw from the clip that I did, the unity gain on each of the channels is at 10 o'clock on the JSO side, and on the gain side it's at about 1 o'clock. And when you turn the dial down, it does reduce the gain to the amplifier, so it cleans up the signal. Now there is a scenario which I can imagine where that would work really well. So through my Plexi, it's a single channel amp. I can set it up with all the dials on 10. That gives me one sound, and then basically I have to use my guitar volume to get less gain if I want, let's say, a crunch sound or a cleaner sound. This can do it. You can actually set up one side where you have the gain lower so that it reduces the gain to the amp, cleaning it up. Great. But then when you turn it off, the stock amp has the gain that you've dialed in, and then you can use the other side to boost the gain for your lead sound as well. So that would be a really great way to use this unit as well. The one thing I will say about it is that this format is excellent, because there are some extra gain stages on the market which you have to put inside a tube socket on the amp. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's great. The thing is, you can't switch them on and off, but with this you can, twice. I I think that's an excellent addition. It's a great way to get that extra gain stage, but without permanently putting it into your amp. So there you go, guys and girls. That is the Nikidizer pedal. If you want to modify your amp with an extra gain stage without modifying your amp, yeah, this is a really cool option. You can check out all of the details on the Frog Amps website. I will leave a link in the description box below. So head over and have a look at this. It is very cool. I've really enjoyed playing this. Huge thanks to Nick for sending it over. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did enjoy this video, please do subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification as well so you know when new videos are going to be coming out. Please do give it a like and a hype as well. And I would love to know from you guys how you would use this with your amplifiers or your modelers. So leave a comment and let me know. Alrighty, time for the track, which I did with this. Right at the beginning, I basically started with just my amp, then I switched in the gain side, and then I switched in the JSO side to give me even more gain. And it was glorious. I loved playing this one. I hope you enjoy it. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you really soon with another one. Bye for now.